of the host and other speakers and do not reflect the views and opinions of TVG Channel 28.
Thank you again for joining this program. I'm Peter Ramsaroop, as you know, and I look forward to having this conversation with you. Many ask me, what time the program normally airs. Well, it's live now between 6:30 and 7 on TVG, which is a national television station across Guyana, and then it's replayed on social media about 8 o'clock on the People's Progressive Party page, so you can tune in if you don't get the entire program. But it's good to be here again. As many know, last week, His Excellency Dr. Irfaan Ali spent a few days over in Region 3. A few weeks ago, he spent 2 days in Region 6, and bringing the President's office to the ground. As you know, my office, Guyana Office for Investment, is part of the Office of the President. And, although we go to work every day in our buildings across Georgetown, it is great to actually move the office to the ground. I think what I have learned personally and what I've seen His Excellency able to resolve very quickly on the issues dealing with so many matters that our population may have encountered, either working with government or private sector issues that needs to be resolved, questions on social services, education. It was great that I watched His Excellency speak with individuals. I think close to 5,000 people came to the event. Thousands met with him on specific issues that he needed to deal with. But what I learned was learning the issues on the ground, as His Excellency is doing, being able to resolve issues that could be decades old. One was 100 years old, or being able just to listen to the needs of our population really brings more reality in our programs, and how do we deliver the right programs to the citizens. And that's what, in 2015 to 2020, whilst we were in opposition, Dr. Jagdeo and the team and His Excellency at the time as a candidate went through the entire country, met with the private sector, met with citizens, met with community leaders to determine what are the initiatives necessary to transform Guyana to the level we all dream Guyana should be. And that is what we presented in our manifesto. And when we go out now with the President-elect, his President office on the ground in these areas, we're able to measure how we are doing and what more we need to do. And that's very impressive. And if you're in any of the regions that the President will come to very soon, it's good for you to look at what's happening in your community. It's not just about solving problems, but if you have suggestions of how government can improve, how we can do better, I think His Excellency love to hear those initiatives and how we will develop Guyana together. A lot happening. As we know, it's election time coming up on June 12th. And the pundits, again, on the opposition, is back to their old rhetoric. Their rhetoric of, one, racism. I can name 5 races in Guyana that stirs up the current racism issues. There are 2 in the WPA that you can know for yourself that leads the charge on racism. They live and breed racism approaches in Guyana. That's 2 in WPA. We know definitely 1 in the PNC leadership that talks about racism all the time, that incite racism in our country, incite, like WPA, incite violence. There's not just racism WPA is doing, they're inciting violence in our country. That's 3. 1, there's another senior lawyer out there that always seems to be around the racist that is promoting violence and racism in our country. And then there's one in New York City basement that every night rants and rave about what he thinks is racism. But what they don't know, those 5 people that I have described, that we, the citizens of Guyana, live every single day among ourselves. We work together, we live together, we shop together, we go to the creek together, we work in offices together. Where is this racism? Why would these 5 individuals, 2 WPA, 1 lawyer, 1 PNC, 1 New York basement individual, incite racism and violence in our country? Why would we want to even listen to them? It's very, very important that we take the message seriously, that we will fight those, not because they're in position of leadership, not because they are able to get on a pulpit and tell an audience what they plan to do with violence in the country. Guyana is transforming at a rapid rate. Our economic growth is the most we have ever seen in our lives. The leadership we have is probably one of the best leadership we have ever had. President that is on the ground, a president that is listening to our people, similar to what Dr. Jagdeo did in his tenure. We are working to create unity and to ensure that we are able to build on our nation. That's where the president has put his One Guyana platform. That way, across Guyana, in every single region, we are able to deliver the same programs equally, the same opportunities, so that every citizen in our country can benefit from our growth, benefit from our wealth, benefit from our social services, benefit from the leadership and vision of His Excellency. And that's where Guyana is going in terms of our growth. So why would you allow these 5 people to try to disrupt an entire nation? We love peace and tranquility. Imagine if you are a vendor at Border Market or Stabroek Market, or you're working at a private firm in Georgetown, or you're a government public servant employee, you're getting a pay every month, and you listen to those on the East Coast that are proposing violence. One was actually, one person that proposed violence was charged today for inciting hostility in our country based on race. It's against the law. So imagine now those folks, some 2 or 3 people listen to them, put some tires on the street and burn and block the roads. What happens to your income? You selling your products, you going to work to get a family, income to take care of your family. Why would you want that to happen? And that's where I think the boldness and the courage of all of us Guyanese, regardless of our race, regardless of our color, regardless of the texture of our hair, or religious belief, political affiliations, regardless, we are one nation. We're one destiny. We're one people. We're one Guyana. And that's what I believe that we've got to always remember. And we always have to defend. And it takes courage to defend and fight racism. To defend and fight those that call for violence. To defend and ensure that our economic prosperity is not hindered by any group, by any political party, by anyone that feels they have a right to incite racism and violence in their country. I can't say that enough. And I think we as citizens must not allow it. I think it falls right back on us. When we hear it, we have to reject it. Teach our young children. You know, people say our children are our future, but actually our children are today. If we don't take care of them today, they will have no future. We will have no future. And that's where we believe, strongly believe in the One Guyana. It always has been in our motto of our nation, one people, one nation, one destiny. We have always had land of 6 races. We have all lived together in harmony. Why not continue that for the betterment of our young children, our young people now coming up into Guyana? Let them enjoy the new Guyana. Let them enjoy the wealth that Guyana is working towards. And I will outline some of those initiatives in the past. So let's take those 5 politicians again, or 5 people, 2 in the WPA, right? Pushing racism and violence. Leadership within the PNC that pushing violence and racism, only message they have. Senior lawyer out there, and someone in a New York basement spewing racism, negativity constantly. And you know, we've got to ensure that we don't take those things on. We don't allow our children to hear it, or we teach them what One Guyana is about, what we are about, working together in unity and development for our country. What is happening in Guyana today? June 12th, as many know, is local government elections. And what is local government elections really? It's our chance to look at the local organs. We know what central government has done, right? You listen to our president, his excitement, his vision, his plans, his on-the-ground approach, delivering on his commitments of his manifesto. And we know what such central government can accomplish. But we are a democracy. We believe in democracy, we believe in accountability, we believe in believe in transparency, and we want local government organs to succeed because they are the closest to the people, the NDCs, the city councils across Guyana. But let's look at reality. Last week I mentioned the fact that our mayor of Georgetown in his 5 years has not delivered on any commitments. I don't even remember anybody campaigning on the city government from the PNC on a manifesto. That's one problem right there. So the mayor didn't campaign, or if he did campaign, we don't remember what they were, because the city has not been fixed. Central government took over most of the cokers so that we don't get all the flooding we had before. They have taken over beautification of the city, from the seawall to Lemaha Street to the pavements along the road, new drains, new pavements are being built. Central government. I must thank the First Lady for some of our seawall projects. They look beautiful, and they're giving us a new excitement to go spend some more time getting the fresh air out there. In other parts of Guyana, the same issues have happened. Central government has taken over roads that the city is supposed to fix. So when I listened to the mayor, who finally today said he will not run for office, he will get out of being the mayor of the PNC, and I think he realized that the PNC party that he supports have not supported him, and I feel sorry for him because his own party has not supported him. He's not been able to deliver on any commitments that he may thought he could. City Hall, central government had to take over and get it funded, City Hall was falling down. Imagine if we allowed City Hall to fall down. The mayor may have been falling down with that. Maybe he fell down before. That's why he couldn't see how to rebuild City Hall. You know, the corruption within the city council, taxes not being spent properly, garbage not being picked up. The mayor was proud today to say that he reduced the garbage bill from 33% to I think 13.5% if I read it right. Guess why? He stopped picking up our garbage. I personally had to hire a private collector to pick up my garbage. Many people cannot do that. The city is supposed to use our rates and taxes to be able to deliver the commitment to this council, to the citizens. So June 12th local government election is very important to us. I was in Linden this weekend and I mentioned the same issues. Linden has always been PNC led. Georgetown has always been PNC led, maybe except for maybe one time. New Amsterdam, PNC led. Partica, PNC led. Believe Madian and maybe one or two others are PNC led. And I want the citizens to ask the question, if you have given this same party 5 years, remember you give APNU and AFC 5 years from 2015. And guess what you did after 5 years? You kicked them out. You kicked your own party out of power. Because many that voted in 2015 for them to win election realized that the APNU AFC failed. They give themselves pay raise. They raise your taxes. They had no economic development plan, no housing program. And guess what you did in 2020? You kicked the PNC and APNU and AFC out of office because they didn't deliver. So kick the PNC out of every city that they control right now because they have not delivered for you. Do it. You've proven when you kicked APNU out in 2020, what did you get? You got a government that now is committed to development of our country. We made a commitment that we needed a new bridge across the Demerara River because the old bridge that was built decades ago could not handle the economic boom within the country, could not handle the increase in traffic, the development across both regions. We made a commitment in our manifesto that we will ensure that there's a new Demerara Bridge built within the first 5 years of our office. And we've started. We made a commitment to 1,000 miles of new roads in our first 5 years in office. Have you seen them? Go to every city, village, small town, small areas outside, footpaths, roads for cars, roads for tractors and combines, all highways being done. 4-lane highway going from Ogle to East Coast, or from East Coast to East Bank. The new highway road going behind Eccles and all the way to Great Diamond, ultimately to Timeri Airport. Imagine driving on a new highway to Timeri Airport that will get you there in 20 minutes versus you know what's happening on the East Bank right now. Right? We have made commitments to reduce taxes. What did we do? We eliminated every single tax that APNU put on us on 2015. Exactly the things that you kicked them out for. We have reversed. Right? We are improving drainage across Guyana. We are improving, I mentioned the roads. We are building new schools. The Minister of Education constantly is out there looking at our education system, not just in content. We have the best students this last year in the CXE, #1 in the region. We're looking at upgrading our schools into high-tech schools. We're building new schools in the interior where children have to go on canoes and boats to get to school. That is putting money back into our system. So a lot of people ask the question, where's Guyana spending money? Where is our transformation? Just look around at the education system. Look around at our schools. Go to the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony. 7 new hospitals, public sector hospitals, to U.S. international standards being built. Imagine a lot of those that normally fly to Trinidad, Cuba, United States for health care now know that they can stay home as we upgrade the system to international standards. That's where people ask where the oil money is going. That's where it's going. It's going into the social service sector. Many folks that came to Region 3 at the outreach, many needed a house lot. So government develops the house lot and give out these house lots at an extremely reasonable cost compared to what it takes to develop if you were doing it privately. That's where your oil money is going. Right? It's going to the development. You can list all of the items that we're spending the oil money on. Cost of living is gone up, but our inflation rate has been very stable. One other thing that people kicked out APNU and the PNC for in 2020, if you remember, our exchange rate had plummeted went up to almost 230 to $1. It's back down to 207 to 210 in the conversion. So our economic stability is sound. The fact that we are using our dollars wisely in investment back into our people. So the new roads that are being built, I mentioned the hospitals that are being built. And imagine we're going to get a very high-tech maternal and pediatric hospital, specialty hospital, built by government. The private sector has decided to step up. There's investors building a 300-bed hospital right in Georgetown, private hospital. There's one just built in Lenora. There's one announced for Berbice. This is private investors looking at alternatives. So if you didn't want to go and bringing our resource, our gas that is out there in the waters to shore, so that we can reduce our energy costs by 50%, as His Excellency has promised and will deliver. Why would a TikTok politician tell you, don't do it? Why would anybody tell you, don't do it? Right? So, in today's papers, in Stabroek, for example, they were always on Monday, there's a center page, how cost of living is affecting people. And for the most part, people, blame government. But as you know, cost of living has a lot to do with supply and demand. So I saw, when I was driving by Border Market today, an entire truck of pineapples. So it could be pineapple season. So the cost of pineapple will go down because there are numerous pineapples now to sell. If there was not pineapple season, the cost will go up. And that's the whole very simple definition of cost of living. But one lady said it best, where she said, my sister that lives in America said the prices are high. They're so as well. So I will not blame the government. We just have to be patient and cope with it. One other person said that the things we produce right now in Guyana is expensive. And that's exactly what His Excellency is trying to solve. If what we're producing, because of our energy costs, is expensive, would you not want cost of living to go down by the reduction in energy? Around the world, gas prices have skyrocketed. We have taken off taxes off of gasoline. Which other country has taken off taxes off of gasoline? We're subsidizing to make sure that we can survive. Where is our oil money going? When we give out the school grants, where is our money going? So we're putting programs in place, from housing to infrastructure to social services to healthcare to education, to ensure that the lives of citizens are better. We are making life as best as we can for our population to enjoy Guyana. And Guyana today and Guyana tomorrow is one of the most exciting countries we could ever live in today's decade. Any other country, look and tell me, any other country in the Caribbean that you can see growth happening like it's happening in Guyana, or North America, or Europe. Look at any other country that the investment climate is at an all-time high. We have folks coming looking for opportunities in Guyana. The president has said it many times, we've got to be ready to make sure that we rightfully take our wealth. You know, I wouldn't go around like Kaichor News, you know, every day they put the same, some different guy holding a banner, right? I don't know if they have made the banner. They walk around the country telling people, please hold this banner up for Kaichor newspaper. We don't believe in negativity. Constructive criticism is fine. Let's, as citizens, pledge yourself. Let's have courage of our convictions, and let's ensure that we tell our young children that Guyana wealth is for us. We will continue to work alongside each other. We will continue to ensure that government delivers on its commitments. And at June 12th elections, we will ensure that the PNC is kicked out of office for all those cities that they run and they have not delivered. And we will continue to work together on the one Guyana, as our president said, to ensure that we bring prosperity to all of us. And let's be thankful and excited that Guyana now is a country that everybody wants to hold a passport for now. It's great to live in Guyana. I'm excited to be a Guyanese, and I look forward to meeting you all very soon. Thank you, and God bless you.